Welcome back to the Tailosive Tech Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Randy, we finally got rid of them. They're all gone.
They said it couldn't be done. Our plot. At last, soon I will have a new co-host. One younger and far more powerful.
It's good to be here. What is...
Pause.
Oh my god. That was terrifying.
I'm scared. Oh my god.
Someone in the house?
I was like, what is that? Why is it playing HomePods Mini, man? I'm scared.
Yeah, that happens to
Anyway.
our Google speakers all the time. It'll just be like doing something in the middle of the day or the middle of the night, and then it'll just be like, sorry, I didn't catch that. And I'm like,
I didn't say anything.
what is it hearing? I'm actually convinced that if you don't use them enough, this is my theory, and I could very well be wrong or right for the record, but I think if you don't use the Google speaker for an extended period of time, it turns up the sensitivity and will start to just go off all by itself and start saying things as a reminder to the end user that, hey, I'm here, you should use me. Because sometimes we'll tell Google to do something and she'll be like, by the way, you can also use me to do that. She'll just turn into a self-advertisement. And I'm like, if activity gets low, they just start talking.
Would you like me to call a salon and schedule an appointment for you?
Right. It's like, look how cool I am. Look how helpful I am. You should use me. Use me.
I'm so
Use
relevant.
me. Yeah, I'm so relevant. How have your HomePod minis been, honestly? Have you still use them regularly?
Lately, no.
So that's it. They've turned up the sensitivity.
Last time I used them was not even a fair use of me using them because I was just like, are these still connected? And I went to the home app.
Just to make sure they're working.
I don't use them. When I do have people over, which isn't often, I have no friends, but
Same.
if in the off chance I have somebody over, normally I would have it on as background music. If I'm doing chores around the house, I'll have it play some type of something. But that's only because I wouldn't be using AirPods at that moment. Which, by the way, I have not returned AirPods Max yet because I looked at the warranty and it said I have until June 20th.
Wow. You've got time to kill.
Yeah.
Do some drop tests on them before you send them back.
They're totally boxed up, ready to go. They're ready. However, I figured why not wait until after Dub and see how that goes.
True. There might be something that comes out or an update possibly.
I keep trying to convince myself to use them. Like I put them on for my walks now, and I go outside on my trails and everything. It just because I'm trying to justify the amazing battery life, but
Right.
I know I've already made up my mind that AirPods Pro are my default. I'm giving my brother my old AirPods, just AirPods 2, I guess, and I'm gonna keep AirPods Pro as my. I've made up my mind. If something comes from AirPods Pro in the coming weeks, then that will kind of dictate how I handle that going forward. But if the only thing Apple addressed is battery life, then it's already a win because AirPods Pro has the worst battery.
I'd be perfectly fine with just a battery update, nothing else.
Yeah,
I'd
nothing
be like,
else.
Cool. I'm sold.
New
I'll
chip.
take one.
Yeah, I don't even care if it doesn't have the lossless in it. If just they fix the battery, I would be. It's a win in my book. So until that time comes, I'm just kind of. Like AirPods Max is legitimately in the case, ready to go. I might pull it out once or twice between now and June 20th, I guess. But I find myself that my lifestyle today has just kept me using AirPods Pro more than anything. So I don't even use HomePod Minis really. And I think that's going to change when I move because the apartment layout I have here doesn't really dictate for it. But to have them like on separate floors again, that's gonna be cool. Fun. Yeah. use the little walkie-talkie thing. I said, come downstairs and
Right.
get your food. Coming, babe.
Our house is too small to use that feature.
Yeah.
You can hear everyone from every point of the house. It's not that big.
That's right. If I sneeze, everybody's hearing me. Yeah.
I have an update on my AirPods Pro for you.
Let's hear it.
They're broken. They're not working.
What?
I literally found this out this morning right before we started recording EV. I was like, oh, they're charged. You know, they were on the MagSafe puck. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Let's start recording. I take them out. I put them in. Instantly hear the right one going loud rattling sound. And I was like, oh no, this is bad. And I could tell it's something to do with the microphones, because I only hear it when I talk, or there's some kind of noise that it's trying to filter out. And it does it whether I'm on transparency or noise cancellation. So switch between those two modes. I hear this very loud, very obvious rattling sound on the right one. And I tried different devices. I paired them to multiple devices. I put them back in the case, took them out again, took the cup off and cleaned it. I took off the little rubber seal and cleaned it out. Didn't help. Still didn't work. And when I played music, I was like, well, maybe if I'm not on a call and talking, maybe if I just listen to music or something with them, they'll still work. The right one is now very noticeably quieter than the left one. So it's the classic AirPod casualty of the cycles are way out of sync, I'm sure, on the batteries.
Time for that warranty.
I'm already through. I'm out.
Are you?
I've had these. Well, I had these on launch day, which was 2019. And it was October of 2019. And then right before the 1 year mark was up, they were having charging issues. So they sent me a whole new case and a whole new left AirPod. So it was just the right one that was from the original 2019 pair. But even then, even the replacements are over a year old now for me, because it's May of 2022. So I'll keep fussing around with them, but I tried pretty much every trick there is, which is all the devices, try it ANC on, ANC off, and everything, and they kept rattling, and the volume's different, and this has happened to me before. I'm pretty sure it's not a software issue. I'm fairly convinced this is hardware related, and I'm out of warranty, so... I said before I was in the market for potentially an AirPods Pro refresh. Now I'm debating if I should upgrade even sooner. I guess it depends on how much I think I'll use these, because I know there's like Amazon deals and stuff, and they go on sale a lot. So I don't know.
Consider... I'm tempted. You want the ANC and the transparency, yeah?
It's particularly useful. Well, I'm on AirPods 2 right now. Like if I don't if I don't need ANC, I can just use the. It's crazy to me that these have lasted longer. These are March of 2019 I bought these. They still have the stupid Tailosive Tech engraving on them. Kill your resale value feature for free. But I'm glad I have them, because I don't like wired headphones, but I'm not that desperate. But these are still working great.
I'm not that poor.
Yeah, I'm not that poor. Left and right sound the same, and I've never replaced either of them. These are both the original pair from March of 2019. I guess probably they got a lot less use, though, because I used them, and then AirPods Pro came out October of 2019, and then I basically switched to those for most of my listening, and these were just kind of backup secondary headphones. So that's probably why they've aged better, just due to low usage. But I was going to check to see what AirPods Pro are going for on Amazon right now, because...
170? No, that's AirPods 2. Yeah, 170, isn't it?
There's a renewed pair for 150, which is pretty good, with 4.5 stars, and we know how Amazon Renewed is for you. And if you want them new, it's 200. Yeah, it's probably not worth it, huh?
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you this: are you in the market of buying them now, or possibly sooner, with the intent of actually those are going to just be the new AirPods Pro period for you, or would you still update?
Yeah, that's a good point. Because I would rather update if there's new ones coming out later. So,
can you wait 2 weeks minimum?
I'm trying to think of examples where I would utilize the ANC. Definitely when I mow the lawn, it's incredibly helpful to have noise cancellation. Yeah. But it's getting hot, so the grass is dying.
I was about to say, but we're not mowing our lawns recently, are we, Drew?
No, no. I've had a crazy week, and I need to get to it. But now that I don't have ANC, what's even the point of mowing the lawn? That's the only reason I bothered, was so I could.
Now it just feels like a chore.
Yeah, what's the fun in that?
Yeah.
So I guess there might be some flights coming up before AirPods Pro 2 come out, but maybe I could live with one or two flights without AirPods Pro. Dang, I wish these would have lasted me longer. I knew this day was coming. We talked about it in previous shows. I was like, these are probably gonna die on me soon. I just don't know when. Today's the day. It's finally It's finally here.
Yeah.
Oh God, who's calling me? Sorry.
No, you're good.
People love to call me when I'm in the middle of things. It's great.
I know. No, at no point throughout the day. In fact, do I have Do Not Disturb turned on? I do. I don't. Oh, work. I'm working, ladies and gentlemen, for the next hour. Thank you.
Focus mode.
Same time. The only time people want to call me is the moment they know. It's like Kika scratching the carpet. She only does it the moment I hit record or stream. Never.
He's recording.
Intermission. Yeah. Never intermission between the shows. Never intermissions when I'm doing music. It's always when the record is on.
Yeah.
But okay, so here's my thoughts. I feel. Actually, let me pose it this way.
Okay.
Did you like AirPods 3?
I was a little disappointed by them. I mean, I appreciated the sound quality. I mean, I don't consider myself an audiophile, but I could tell it had I was doing all the back and back comparisons when I got them. I was like, let me try AirPods 2, AirPods 3, AirPods Pro, and I was like, yeah, it's basically the same sound performance or the same tweeters and the same feel of AirPods Pro, but without the rubber seal. Yeah. It was like with basically just AirPods Pro minus ANC. That's exactly what it felt like. It's transparency mode on at all times. And they were slightly less comfortable to me than AirPods 2 was. But I don't know if I'm the outlier with that one. It may be better for more people, but I like the Force stem. I thought that was better than the tap. I never used the tap thing with AirPods 2. I honestly forget that's a thing until we start talking about different AirPod features. But hey, the design was good. I just really preferred having active noise cancellation, I guess. So that's why.
I wanted to rule out. I'm trying to do a process of elimination for you here.
Okay.
Actually, I think I don't need to ask any more follow-ups. I think I've got my recommendation for you.
Okay.
I think you should wait. Don't do renewed Amazon, just because we don't know. Between now and then, we don't know if there's going to be AirPods Pro 2 or not. And even if there is, well, then there's your answer. But if there isn't, there's nothing inherently wrong with your AirPods 2 that you have.
No, these are great. Yeah, these are fine.
Does it suck? You don't have ANC? Yeah. But is it a deal breaker? It wasn't before. It isn't now. It's just, this is where you're able to stretch your dollar that much further because you did pay for them. Those are yours. And they're running well. When the time comes that those start to die out on you, and inevitably one of them is going to crap out before the other, then you can start about refreshing a lineup of whatever you need to do for AirPods. But if you need to have ANC, which I would say you don't, no one needs
Probably
it,
not.
but
Yeah.
To have it though, especially if the biggest thing is the mowing the lawn thing. You were using AirPods before when you were mowing the lawn and they were working fine. So it's you're gonna hear it, yeah, sure, but I mean that's That's one example of one moment of your day where that's happening. You already paid for them. They're already there. And AirPods Pro 2, really hope we see something. Hey, look, and if we don't, and you find out like, okay, I've waited 2 more months and nothing's came from it, you get 3 months with Amazon Renewed, and you could try out AirPods Pro again.
Oh, now you've introduced an even better idea, I think. Just
you see where I'm going with this?
You just use the Amazon Renewed for 3 months and then return. Is that the?
By then, we would time it where we are now in iPhone season. Because listen, if you're not getting AirPods Pro by iPhone season, then So.
Well, I don't know. Quo said
September.
Q4. So it
Q4.
might even be later. That's what he said. So it might be later. That's why I hate the fact that these died early, because now I have this decision to make. Maybe I should talk to my wife. I should be like, could we get like Amazon Renewed for now, and then when the new ones come out, I'll get those, and you can have the renewed ones? Or she's not gonna want them. She said she's like, I don't care. She doesn't use that.
I'm a big Amazon Renewed. That's my certified refurbish for me now.
Because abuser specifically.
Yes. Yeah.
Use and abuse.
Yeah. Well, okay. The thing is, I bought it with the intent of keeping because it was under $400, and I was like,
That's true.
That was my point. But honestly, if my lifestyle was a little bit, if I still worked in an office that wasn't from home and all that, if this was pre-COVID, I unequivocally would have stuck with AirPods Max, and that would have been my daily headphone for years. Specifically the black one. I love it so much, man, but it just doesn't fit my life today. And because you and I are very paralleled in our daily lives of how we do things, it's a bit overkill. Even for $400, it's overkill. It's not minimal. It's more hassle than it needs to be. Best sounding headphones by far, but admittedly, AirPods Pro, that gives you everything you need in a price point that's good, with the compromise of having the worst battery. Which is why if Apple just fixed the battery, we're good.
We'd have solid upgrade. It'll probably have a price hike too, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
220, 240.
Well, it's $250 now. So.
Oh man, I'm going off of those discount prices.
Yeah, you're thinking Amazon prices. Maybe that's the better way to go. Wait for AirPods Pro 2 to go on Amazon, and they'll be $50 cheaper probably.
Honestly, the same way I'm waiting to get a display, a studio display, depending on what what Mac Pro looks like.
Right.
It's not something I need today. You're a little bit more. You're on your last set of headphones, so for you, it's a little bit more critical than me. But if you can wait, I think from now on, I'm just going to buy through Amazon because the prices are cheaper. And if I do renew,
just save a bunch of money.
Honestly, man, listen.
Why not?
Your iCloud account is your iCloud account. It pairs all the same. I don't need to buy it straight from Apple. Amazon is definitely a smart way to go. And I'm not even saying with the Renew stuff. They just naturally have discounts sometimes for no reason.
They do.
$40 off here or $20. I love it.
And the return window is longer, which is nice.
I compare it to my military discount one, and sometimes Amazon even beats the military discount one. So
whoa, that's impressive. Wow.
Yeah, and like you said, that return window is longer.
Don't join the military. Just buy from Amazon, people.
That's it.
It's so much.
But if you join the military, then you get the military discount with Amazon Prime, I think.
That's maximum savings. I see. But
at the cost of your freedom in life and moving out of your comfort zone and going to some middle of nowhere state like me. Hey.
But your AirPods will be much cheaper. So
and
if you really weigh it,
who really winning in this relationship?
Who's really winning now? But you mentioned iCloud. I'm still out of 5 gigs for 5 gigs. I haven't seen the iCloud Drive stuff go away, and I've had so many people try to walk me through how to get rid of it. It's still there. It's 6.7 gigs of iCloud Drive, even though I've deleted everything. iCloud Drive is off. The trash has been emptied on all devices, and I can't turn it off. So after an hour-long talk with Apple, they just said to wait, and it'll eventually go away. So
I've been waiting, Apple.
I've been waiting a while, but
That's so weird.
it's very weird. And a software bug that encourages you to pay something is particularly frustrating. It's one thing to just be like, hey, this app isn't working right, but in another where it's like, you're out of storage, upgrade, you're out of storage, upgrade, and they're like, you need to buy more storage, even though I'm using less than 1 gig, and they're
Okay, I'll
trying
take
to
a look
get
at
me
this.
it's not fair.
I think
But
you had me just reviewing my stuff, as a lot of people were doing it too, just to see.
it's a good
And
exercise.
it is. It's a great exercise. I love it. You have a legitimate bug because I don't have anything close to that at all.
It's weird. Yeah,
But the thing is, I filled it up with so much. I've made peace that like I'm currently sitting at, and this is me still deleting things. So I technically haven't emptied out my trash for files or my deleted folder and photos, which has a lot of video. I'm currently sitting at 137 gigs out of 200, and when I delete everything, I think I'll be closer to like 132 or something like that. That's always been my comfort spot. My biggest critique that I've always pondered was I look at my messages, my text messages.
Oh yeah.
And the biggest file that I have is everything between me and my wife over the last 9 years. I'm like,
Oh,
that's
really?
a lot. Yeah.
That makes sense.
A very close second, though, surprisingly, is our podcast gang group chat.
That's mine. We send pictures and videos
Yeah.
and it just stores up there. Turning off iCloud messages was a little scary, but once I realized it just downloads it to your device, I was like, oh, this is fine. But still, now I'm seeing it take up space locally. And I'm like,
that
whoa.
gives me what's the equivalent of that of range anxiety? That gives me storage
anxiety. Yeah.
Yeah.
Storage anxiety. But I'm utilizing my 8 terabyte MacBook to the fullest. It was
Good.
It was a very expensive option, but I've filled up 3 terabytes already.
Oh my goodness.
So there's definitely some things I need to go through and filter out, but like now that I'm doing the skits, I want to preserve those, and I've actually been like converting more of those to the vertical format so I can like post them on TikTok or the Clips channel as shorts and stuff.
I've noticed.
So I have more incentive to keep a lot of those raw files now before I convert them to a vertical video, and that's taking up more space, and I'm glad I got it, because if I would have opted for the 4 terabytes, I would be close to filling it up by now. And I've already had such limited time to go through files and filter out stuff. I've been spending all my time filtering out iCloud and backing up stuff to Daegu or whatever, the super free cloud service. But
Right.
also the personal life stuff. So I love just being able to open the laptop and just dump stuff on it. Huge files, doesn't matter how long they are, and just know I'm good. Like, it's incredibly relieving to not have to think about that, because with my iMac Pro, I basically was having to do that like every day. I would like finish a video, import, and be like, oh, almost done. Hold on, let me go find some stuff. I gotta delete this, rearrange this, and empty the trash here. It was like every single day I had to do that, and I'm grateful I don't have to anymore. It's nice.
You have me looking at my storage right now, local storage for the MacBook, and I have I've only used less than 0.4 terabytes.
Okay.
I was like,
That's
okay,
not bad.
that's not bad. But unlike you, I would say, and you know what we're all doing? We're just kicking the rock down the road.
It is. That's what
we're fudging the
buying
numbers,
time.
dude.
Yeah.
I'm fudging the numbers in a way to make it look like it's good, but I have this 4 terabyte SSD, and this is almost capped out because I was gonna say, unlike you, what I do is in my Final Cut and in my Logic project files, I take the final version and I store it off of here, and then I would get rid of it. Right. And what I tried to do, specifically with the YouTube videos or anything that's video driven, so like I have like a lyric video, for example, for something, but then Spotify lets you have these canvases, and I can have animated.
Oh, you can control that.
And I can, yeah, and I do.
Oh, that's cool.
I've gone through and I've put some stuff up, and so I too will try to keep the raw file, and I have to manipulate it to fit the vertical layout now. So if that means like moving lyric words or whatever, so I will do stuff like that, and I find myself more so than not. Maybe this is me cutting corners, but I'm trying to be realistic about. Like, I'm not Drake or Taylor Swift, so I don't have to worry about having the best anything. Like, I'm a guy who prides himself on using Logic and filming videos on iPhones and stuff like that, and I know like that's just who I am. And so I take that raw indie vibe, and I don't have lossless anything. I don't have MOV or for the audio version, it would be like WAV, so a WAV file, or an AIF file. And what I find myself doing now, ultimately, this was me trying to condition my brain to do that when I had the MacBook Air M1 or the iMac before that, where it was storage restricted, is I just was realistic about where was it going to be viewed at. And most of the time, and all the analytics say so, it's done on mobile. Okay, so maybe 1080 is good enough. So
for sure,
when I export a file now, I don't do 4K at anything anymore, and I will take that file that's already now compressed, and then I will effectively recompress it again if I'm reorienting the landscape of it from horizontal to vertical, and it's good enough. It's fine enough.
Gets the job done. Yeah,
it gets the job done. I think. What I'm trying to do now, but maybe this is me, I don't want to cut too many corners, is I'll probably still film at 4K and just export at 1080, and I'm okay with that.
Way you capture more.
I like the idea of being able to manipulate. I've gotten into like color grading a little bit more on some stuff, so I like having that information presented, even though no one's ever going to look at it. It's the same thing with audiophile mentality. I like listening to things that nobody's really ever going to notice, but I know it's there.
Sure.
So maybe that's where it's at, but iPhone has its limitations of cinematic mode at 1080 at 30, so I found myself subconsciously manipulating myself around a 1080 at 30 experience. And I guess I took the MKBHD approach, where it's like Apple does it at 30 and it's 1080. Well, theirs is a lot higher, but 1080 seems to be the default. So I'm like justifying to just do all that stuff, because if I upload something to Spotify, it's 30 frames. Everything else is like pretty much 30 frames, but I try to make it the mobile experience. Did you see, not YouTube, but Instagram does HDR now with their video?
Oh, I heard about it. I don't use Instagram, but I heard about that.
It messed with I was like, whoa.
But you know what I have been using a lot more recently is Reddit, and they support HDR, and it bugs the heck out of me. I hate it so much. It's the most annoying thing. I feel like the odd man out, but I just do not like HDR content. Like, at least the way it's implemented on phones is just very annoying to me, because most of the videos are not, cinematic, red files or some trailer for some movie that's in HDR. It's always like someone with an iPhone filming something in portrait, and I don't even feel like there's more range. Like, I don't feel like I'm seeing more things. All it does is boost the brightness up. The video starts playing, and then it just gets really bright, and I'm like,
my eyes.
Yeah, it's like, why is this? I know that on some technical level it may say, well, there's technically deeper blacks and brighter brights, so therefore it's HDR. I'm like, I don't care what is going on behind the scenes. It's just annoying. But I don't know if that's real HDR or a phone faking HDR or something.
You told me last week or 2 weeks ago. At one point you had said, and it's been living rent free in my head because I'm like, oh my god, that's what it is. We don't like HDR in real life when we wear sunglasses outside.
Oh yeah, I forgot I said that.
That lives rent free in my head.
People wear sunglasses because they don't like HDR. Yeah.
And that's me. I'm so sensitive to the sunlight outside, and that's so true. And you know what? When they don't use HDR, it actually makes the image flatter in a weird way. TikTok. I posted something on TikTok this week. I don't use TikTok often, but this one was like, I'll put it up there. Me neither. And this is when I noticed that Instagram had HDR because I posted it on Instagram, and they had this little experiment about if you put a coat hanger on your head, you involuntarily move your head, and it's the weirdest thing. I tried it. I was like, whoa! So I documented that.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. No, it's weird. It's you. Anyway, that's a whole. Yeah.
I want to try it now.
Yeah. Yeah. You get a coat hanger, put it on your head, and just relax. Let your head relax, and your head will just turn. It's weird.
Does any clothes hanger work, or does it have to be something specific?
No, I think any. I have a plastic. I did a plastic one. As long as I think the concept is, as long as you have compression happening on both sides of your head, you will involuntarily move your head.
Okay, you had a point with this, but go on while I.
Oh no, I got it. No.
Put it like this?
No, turn it the other way. There you go. No.
Like this?
There you go. Stretch it and put it on your head.
I'm gonna
get it right there. A little bit more, and that's good enough. Relax your head.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like I'm doing it wrong. Am I moving?
No. You don't feel the pressure of your head?
Maybe I'm actively fighting it because I'm looking at myself in the.
You have to relax your head.
Okay.
I did it with my eyes closed, and it just. No, it's too late now. I think you're already thinking about it. You're already thinking about it.
Is this a prank?
No. Okay, so here's the thing. That's funny. I think you're already thinking about it.
Gotta free my mind.
So yeah, you have to. You know what?
It's not coming
you're not the one. You're not the one.
I'm not the one.
That's weird.
That anyway.
Yeah, so I had my wife film my reaction, and it was. I didn't want to give her any insight about what was happening because I wanted to record an actual reaction of it for me.
Yeah.
So I sat down on the couch and I just described what I just said is you will involuntarily move your head. So I put it on my head. I let go and I just dropped and I closed my head and my head just started turning and I was
whoa.
And weird. You see me and I took it off and then that was that. I was like, that's cool. I'm gonna share it. So I put it on Instagram, HDR, my eyes, because I didn't know Instagram supported it. I put it on TikTok, no HDR. But the image got flatter, and I was like, "Is this a good thing or a bad thing?" Because if I just want to record and post and that's that, it's probably worse. But if you go in and you color grade, then I guess then it's better. But I think it goes against the whole. It just works, kind of like you and I FaceTiming, and we have no issues at all ever.
It works so well every time.
Yeah. So, this whole HDR nonsense, man, I gotta be honest, it's kind of messing with my vibe, and we're just doubling down on it with these cameras, and
it's the new 3D, is what it is. We couldn't get everyone on board with 3D, so now everything's HDR hype.
I don't even know if iPhones going forward will be okay. iPhone 14 is already going to be diminishing returns by technicality of it being the same design language, etc., etc. iPhone 15, as we talked about last week, USB-C. Okay, maybe that's something. But if their next thing is they're going to focus on improving like depth and all that stuff with the front-facing camera, yeah, it's cool. Like objectively better, cool. But this HDR thing makes me feel like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Every time I film a vlog or anything on my phone and I put it in Final Cut, I have to grab that HDR tool and drop it on there. Like, just, why?
Yeah, I turned it off. I just don't even shoot HDR on my phone.
Wait. You could. How do you turn it? You could turn it off.
I think it's in camera settings. There's like a Dolby Vision or whatever it's called thing, but it's a toggle, I believe. I don't know why I'm looking on my iPad. That doesn't have it.
I'm looking right now. Format?
It should be in there.
No, that's ProRes.
Maybe in record video.
Oh, that's true. Record. You're right. Record video.
Does it have any?
There it is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I just threw that off because I'm like you. I hated having to get the HDR tools thing, and even with the HDR tools thing, it didn't help me get it back to normal.
No,
I felt like I was.
You have to go to the next step down. You go in there, you click the drop down, you go one more down, then it fixes it. Like all these extra steps. Oh, look at that. Done.
Thank God. Standard dynamic range, my favorite.
I'm the lukewarm milk. Like it's the world's okayest thing I'm okay with. I understand pushing the technology for technology's sake, but some stuff just feels. I don't know, like, why? Why do you need that? Why do we need head tracking on AirPods Pro or Max or 3?
That is such a tech for the sake of tech feature. That is like how useful is this really? Like, that I want it to sound like it's coming from the device. It's like, what? Why would I want to do that?
Why would I do that if I'm wearing headphones? I'll just take the headphones off.
Right.
So you can kill my battery quicker?
Right. That's a downside of listening to normal speakers. An upside of headphones is that it would be like the same sounding regardless of where your head is. But it's, hey, we found a way to do it. So we're going to do it.
We're going to do it. Yeah. That's so ridiculous.
Kind of like foldables.
Okay, on record, since I told you this off record, my mother-in-law was visiting, and if for our long-time listeners or viewers,
secondhand review of the Z Flip,
my mother-in-law got the Z Flip last year because no other phone was accessible at the time when she's like, I just need a phone. So all they had was
sold out of everything. Yeah.
So she's a Galaxy S type of person. She goes, I'll take the S21. Sorry, we don't have that. Okay, I'll take your J10 or whatever, the cheap, like, we don't have that. Okay, what do you have? Do you want an iPhone? No, I don't use iPhone. All right. She's like, okay, all right. We have this Galaxy Z Flip. Okay, yeah, sure.
No one wants these.
Yeah,
we've got a big stock.
Oh, we got them in the bargain bin back here in a big old box. She goes,
next
fine, I'll
to
take
the dollar Blu-rays.
So, and 3D curved LG TVs.
3D curved.
So she bought one because like I got to get to the airport. I don't care. So we did a long-term review. I sat with her. I was like, all right, how are you liking this so far? And one thing I noticed when she go in her purse and grab it out, she grabbed it out like this. It was already open. It's unfolded. I would go, what are you doing? She goes, I don't like the notion of having to open it and do the thing. And I was like, okay. You're like, so you just get a Galaxy S22 then. I mean, it's already on the contract thing. I don't want to think about it. Like, okay.
I'm locked in now. It's too late.
So why not just, what's the problem with folding it? And she said, Well, I read somewhere I get like maybe 200 folds or something, and then it's it's a moving part, so eventually it's gonna break. And I'm like, well, I think it's a little bit more than 200, but yeah, eventually, it is physics. She goes, yeah, I just don't want to deal with it. It's like, so if you could do it again, she goes, I'm not a phone person, I don't care, but I'd rather have my phone like this open, and then she pauses and she goes, this crease really bothers me.
She said that?
Yeah. She
Wow.
goes, this thing is just, it's right there. She goes, I missed the glass. I felt sturdier with the glass. It's like, Samsung makes the best glass. Quite frankly, people. Samsung yeah. Then all of a sudden she starts trumping me and she goes, quite frankly, I've never seen better glass or displays than Samsung, believe me. So I was like, all right. I was like, hey, we can go to the store and go upgrade your phone. But then I started to red pill her with iPhone, the way I got my mom.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, listen, FaceTime is one heck of a feature. And she goes, I don't really do that. Like, don't you want to call and check in and see how your daughter's doing? Don't you want to see? She goes, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Like,
you pulled that card.
Oh, I'm a dirty player. Yeah.
Do you love your children? Buy an iPhone. That's how it works.
Don't you want to be able to text at any point and you don't have to worry about sending these great photos of your house that are always compressed? Like, don't you want to don't you want to show us what you're seeing? Yeah. Better yet, don't you just want to video chat us? Like, well, you could do the link thing. And like, yeah, and we're talking on boxes when we FaceTime link.
Yeah, yeah.
And your phone you don't like the crease and it's foldable and it's open. And like, we can get you the best right now. If we go look on Refurbish I could get you a good phone. I knew my mom would be fine with a 10R, so you got her a 10R when we did it. And I was like, you strike me more of an iPhone 11 or 12 type of person. And she goes, yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
I like the ultra wide. I was like, yeah, ultra wide's good, isn't it? Ultra wide's nice. Wouldn't it be great to do ultra wide and show us the actual photo instead of these pixelated gobbledygook? So, we left the conversation with her going, when I get home, I'm gonna have a conversation with my husband, and we're gonna. I mean, it's all under T-Mobile, right? I'm like, yeah. She goes, I just don't want to reconvert my house with all the smart. My house is a smart house. I don't want to do all that. I was like, no. Those are applications. It's all the same apps. I have Philip Hughes right now running as we speak. I have Ring doorbell. All that stuff that you have, I have, and I easily manage it on this beautiful thing. She goes, yeah. I do like the size and the stainless steel. It does feel pretty nice. I'm like, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Here.
You're really red pilling.
Dude.
Well, it's Randy. We gotta say green pill.
It is the green pill.
Alpine green pilled her.
I said real pill because she prefers the warmer tones of colors. So I was like, look at this beautiful product red. I took her to an Apple store.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? And it's helping, fighting against AIDS and stuff like that. Oh, and you're helping a good
walked in like
cause.
you own the place. Welcome to my kingdom. We have red.
Sir, what's your employee number? 1.
Exactly.
Hey, wait a minute.
Wow.
So, well, I'll let you know. This is development. This is the saga of my mother-in-law going from a Z Flip to iPhone. I make a prediction.
She did the exact same thing I did. Which is, after a while of using the Flip, I just started putting it in my pocket unfolded because I didn't want to deal with... It was getting annoying. Like, every time you pull it out of your pocket, you have to unfold it. I used to not have that step. Now it's an extra step. And it wasn't saving much space in the pocket, so... I don't blame her.
I didn't even
I would have done the same thing.
Here's the catalyst of why I even decided to red pill her in the first place. Because it doesn't wirelessly charge. And she thought it would.
I think it does. You just have to line it up weird.
Oh,
right.
Well, let me take a step back here. She bought a brand new like a Subaru, right? It's a crossover.
Got it.
And
that's it.
She said, "Hey, help me get this. You know, I want something like in your car. Like, I'll take a Nomad, whatever." I was like, "Sorry, this is for Tesla." And even now, it just comes stock. It's default. But
Yeah, it's built.
I'll help you find something. So she got something. She put it in her car. Her husband, so my father-in-law, he has a Samsung Galaxy S20 or something. And he puts it down and charges. She takes her Fold, puts it down, nothing.
Yep.
Well, this just sucks. I don't like this. And so I was like, my iPhone charges. Put it down. She goes, why wouldn't this phone wirelessly charge? Isn't that the standard? I don't know what to tell you, but I could tell you that I have wireless charging, and I use it almost exclusively, and I FaceTime, and I have iMessage, and all my batteries, my battery is very efficient, and smart home applications are pretty good.
And I'm better than you.
And so I'm pretty much better than you. And she knows the story about my mom, getting very hoity-toity. She goes, "Am I gonna walk around with the white bag, acting like I'm, I like my stuff don't stink?" And I'm like, "That's right. Yeah,
that's
can't
right.
Help it." So
it's part of the deal.
I confess to you now, two things. One, foldables suck. I see it firsthand. Like, this is bad. Two, I predict I will get her on an iPhone before the year's over.
Okay. It's looking likely at this point, because the car thing is a surprisingly competitive way, because it's cheaper to change your phone than your car. That's for sure. And I know people in my personal life that there was a guy I knew that was very like all about repairability and customization, like side loading and not going through the App Store and stuff. He works on cars for a living, so those guys usually go hand in hand. And then he got like a new car for his job that he really liked, but it only supported CarPlay. It did not support Android Auto. And he was like, "Well, I want the phone to work with the car navigation system." So he bought an iPhone, because he's like, "Well, the car is a sunk cost. I can't return that, and it's not going to be easy to replace that. But I can get a new phone. That's not a big deal." So he got an iPhone 11, I think, just for that reason alone. And I'm not shocked, because for the record, the Flip does have wireless charging, but it puts the coil in the bottom half, because obviously you can't put those coils in between the hinge. And the Flip,
and she doesn't want to fold her phone.
Yeah. Well, even if she did, no, I mean, even if she did fold the phone, the coils wouldn't align properly. The coil has to be like in the center of the phone. So she would, I don't know what her wireless charger looks like, but she would need to move the phone, fold it up to the center, and have it prop up there somehow. It would be clunky, it would be weird, and it just wouldn't look right. Whereas a phone like yours, where the Qi coil is in the middle, or like her husband's, that works flawlessly. That's how wireless charging is meant to be. So it does have the coils, but yeah, if it doesn't work with most wireless chargers, it kind of defeats the point of there being wireless charging. So I totally get her frustration. I don't know if I'd jump straight to iPhone for that reason alone, but I won't fight it.
I'm a petty man. Anybody who, cause she always does like, "Well, you're in this space. Look what this thing. Did you know that this can do 20x zoom something?" It's like, yeah, and it looks like it's shot on 480p. Yeah,
Potato,
no,
yeah. No thanks.
So I always tell her, like, "Listen, you want a real camera? Look at this," and I'll take a photo. I'm like, and then I always go, "Unedited, look at that," and that's HDR. And she goes,
"Yeah,
wow."
I've gotten far more positive responses from macro mode than I have the telephoto.
Yeah,
I was at someone's graduation recently, and I used the telephoto, and it's always like, oh, okay. Like, people do not care. Seriously, like, I understand why Apple stopped including that with the standard iPhones, because I was looking around at this big graduation ceremony, and everyone had their iPhone 11s and 12s and 13s out. Like, very few people had their Pros, and everyone in these scenarios where you're far away and you're trying to get a shot, they have no problem with digital zoom. They do not care. They don't even think about it. And they asked me because I wasn't super close to this person, but they were like, "Hey, we're gonna be on stage congratulating them. Could you film it for us?" And they handed me their iPhone 11, and I pulled out my phone. I was like, "I'll just record it with mine and AirDrop it to you." And they were like, "Why? Why?" I was like, "Well, I've got the telephoto lens," and they kind of looked at me like, "Okay." You know, like, they did not care at all. They're like, "Oh, you're that guy." And I'm like, "I'm sorry. I'm not even going to look at this video ever again, but I'm that tech guy, and I have to do the telephoto and AirDrop thing." Most people would rather not AirDrop and just take another picture with their own phone.
Facts.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
That is
has
absolutely...
happened.
They do not want to send it to each other. They don't want to fuss around with all that. They're just like, "Oh, that's a good picture. I want one on my phone. Can we take it again?" That's like the default. That's what most people do.
Yep.
And the ultra wide, though, when I show people a macro shot, like my grandma had a coin collection. I saw your coin collection too. If you just get the lens really close,
Yeah.
and show people how much detail it gets, they're always like, "Whoa, how does it see that much? How can it get that much out of it?" So I think the macro mode was a better standard feature anyway. But that's why I'm not terribly interested in the next few years of iPhone cameras, because I know that's all they're going to do is sharper images and more telephoto.
Better nighttime photography with the bigger sensor. Like it's
all but confirmed at this point. We know where it's going.
Yeah, I mean, inevitably, that's just, you look dumb if you don't go that, like, at that point, it's what I want to see is them incorporate, that macro photography on online's ultra wides, have that capability. That's a good use of money for somebody to differentiate, like, but this is what makes a pro. It's like, yeah, but now, like, iPhone 13s, they all film the HDR thing, where only on the 12s, it was the 12 Pro. You get, like, how that rolls out, and they all got 5G. Apple was more proud about 5G than, anything else. So
they definitely are.
I could tell you from personal experience that, like, what you said in real life application, so true. Hey, no, I got the new Alpine Green, and they're like, "Yeah, great, that's cool. Hey, do me a favor, film this on my 10X," and that's what, or they say my XS. Yeah, they say like, "Film it on my on my XS," and and we're good. I'm like, "Listen, I'll AirDrop." They don't care. Like, I had a stranger who looked like our age group, like, "Okay, you're tech literate." I was like, "Listen, do you just want me to film on my newer iPhone and I AirDrop it?" He's like, he knows I'm not gonna get your number. I'm just AirDrop it to it was a stranger,
right?
And he was like, "It's just more. It's just, I don't want to sit in here." Boop, boop, boop.
Right. Wait. We're like, "No, just take it and go. Let's just be done with it.
Just we're done. It's fine." They don't care. And much like my wife, much like maybe the rest of the world, I wish I was that bliss about.
Yeah, I'm trying to get there. I'm working on it.
I'm so envious, man. No, I miss the MacBook Air M1. I really miss it.
Really?
I sold every Apple product on Swappa, and the one I had the hardest time letting go was the MacBook Air. And the seller, or the buyer, excuse me, messages me on Swappa, and we have this really in-depth back and forth. He's giving me his life story, and after the sale's finalized, you have a private communication channel, and he reaches out to me. "Hey, Randy, I just want to let you know I got the MacBook Air. I've had it for a week now, and I love this thing. The thing is great."
Wow! After a week. I would never do this if I bought someone's. I
was like, "Oh, I left him on red after a while. I felt bad, but he's like, listen, like this has inspired me to want to get back into digital art again. I used to do this, blah 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 blah, and he was like, this. I was waiting for this moment, and when I saw the MacBook Air at this price, I knew I had to get it. My first thought, did I price it too low?
Yeah. What have I done? You should tell him. You can wire me some more if you want.
Yeah.
I won't.
He's like,
I
love
won't
it.
deny.
And I was like, yeah, man, this, because I put in my bio, or not, but the description, I was like, it is mint condition. It's lived its whole life on my desk, clam, just done. And I got MacBook Pro because that's the one with the I/O and the more storage, and I just need it for my workflow. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I totally get it, but I think I'm set here. La, la. And the way he was talking, like, it's so elegant, it's so clean, it's so light. I'm over here like, yo, stop. I miss it, all right? Just stop.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough.
I stopped responding to him because I was getting hurt.
Yeah.
It's like my ex. My ex is doing better without me.
You just have to cut it off.
Yeah. I don't want to know about what my former relationships are doing with other owner. Like, oh my God, it hurts. Like, I get it.
Maybe that'll change when the new one comes out later. And then that'll be the cool, clean one, and that old one will feel dated and like yesterday's tech. Who cares?
It always does that, right? Well, I guess. Has your thought process changed about, because now we are sub 2 weeks away. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Has your thoughts changed about what to expect for quadruple UDC?
I don't think so. I think I'm still standing by. I've been hurt too many times. I'm convinced that this will just be software. Apple wants to have more dedicated events now. They don't like sharing stage time with too many announcements. So I'd love to be wrong. If Mac Pro, new display, new AirPod, whatever, if everything all comes out, then I'll be happy. I'll be over the moon, and we can talk about it. And I'm excited to talk about it, but I just don't want to go into that expecting it. I don't want to go into that keynote thinking this is going to be where we see all the new hardware. Because I've done that 2 years in a row, and it's never worked out. So I want to avoid that feeling. Expect disappointment.
Well, Apple kind of confirmed something on their own email.
What did they do? Did you see the picture of me they included in the invite?
Oh, I'm looking at it right now.
I masked it out.
The yellow one is me. That is that's your hair. That's you.
I masked it out just for thumbnail purposes.
I love it.
I cut it out from the rest.
That's great. So, all but confirmed, right? First thing in their email when you scroll down, and they go, scroll down for more. Apple keynote. Previewed the latest Apple software and technologies.
That's a stretch in my view.
No.
Technologies? That counts
Confirmed.
as software.
No, they separated it, Drew.
Technology.
It's okay to love again.
I thought they said something similar to that the last two dubs, didn't they? Didn't they say something about like a hardware preview, and then it ended up being that we're switching away from Intel, and that was it. They didn't even say M1 chip, and they didn't unveil anything. They just said we're moving away from Intel. That we'll talk more about this later.
If they did do that, you're being so petty right now, and so 2019 or 2020 that it doesn't even matter. What matters is the here and now. Kika agrees. She
does. Kika's applauding you right now.
Yeah, she's like, get him, Dad. Software and technologies. Hardware confirmed.
So I assume all of those faces in the invite are all the MacBook Air colors, right? That's what those are? Is that the only way we can explain them?
No.
Yeah, they wouldn't do red and pink. It's usually one or the other, right? They don't do both.
No. I guess they always put hints in them, right? But for software, I don't think we ever see hints in the software. The hints in hardware, we get hints like we saw the circles, and they thought that was AirTags, but what that was iPhone 12 wallpaper.
Yeah, they thought that was Remember the 2018 keynote where they said gather round and everyone thought it meant a circular Apple Watch was coming? They were like, oh, it's confirmed. It's a circle. Nope.
I don't know what the different memojis mean, but I do like that they are being inclusive and adding a ginger in there, though. So that makes me happy.
I feel represented. Thank goodness. Speaking of representation, my God, those Pride bands, though. They are clean. This is my favorite year of Pride bands, personally. The Nike one?
I'm wearing this one today.
Oh, yeah. Was that 2020 or
2020? Yeah, 2020.
Okay. Yeah, that was a good one, too. I like that one.
These were my favorite colors. I like the muted purple, blue, and green.
Yeah.
They're good.
That is a good look.
I
had to resist. This was the closest I've come to getting new watch bands, but I.
They are clean though. They're very clean looking. I'm a sucker for just like. I guess it's the accent colors. Like the reason why I love this watch band is I'm not, even though I'm not necessarily part of I'm an ally, but they're so clean though. And Brittany bought hers, my wife, and I was like, oh, that looks so good in person. And I got FOMO immediately because I like the white watch band print. I noticed that you're wearing yours right now today. Mm-hmm. It's a very timeless. I don't know what the right word would be.
It's classy.
But they have a way of always making it look good with those Pride colors and having those accent colors show up. And then the fact that they have a dark version. I
know the dark version. I was like, dang. I used to, when I was younger, just go to the Apple store for fun and buy watch bands. That's just what I used to do. I guess more in my hardcore Apple sheep days, I would look for an excuse. I'd be like, I don't even really like that watch band, but I just want to go to an Apple store because it sounds like fun. Since then, I have wised up and realized that's not a good financial decision. Yeah. But a younger Drew would have bought those bands, I assure you. I like the watch faces, at least.
I have. Are you rocking the watch face?
I couldn't figure out how to add it. It wasn't showing up. I think I need to update.
Watch, no? Because I woke up one day and it said new watch faces available.
I tried to, but they weren't there. There's the old Pride faces, but not the new ones.
Oh.
So okay. I'm pretty sure I need to update, or I tried to add them on my phone and they didn't show up. So yeah, I gotta update something. But I would if I had them.
I think I'm looking at mine right now. I thought I just manipulated the. I'm rocking the digital information. What's this face called? Infograph modular.
Infograph.
So
yeah, that's a popular. One.
I noticed that I'm doing it right now. I'm manipulating the sun right here. The corners like when the sunset.
That's cool.
It was moving anyway. But
there's just an insane amount of customization. But I'm still in favor of a third-party watch face support.
If that's all we get for WatchOS this year, I'm good.
That's huge. That's a major one. I honestly think that would be far more profitable than an app store. Do you use any third-party apps on your Apple Watch? Or is it all the first-party? Which one?
I have Fidelity.
Oh,
I use Fidelity. Okay. It gives me recent. I actually have it as a little circular widget at the bottom center here, and it gives me of anything that's on my watch list. I customize it to tell me any high movements and stuff like that.
Does Fidelity cost money?
No.
Or is it free?
No.
Okay.
It's free.
Okay.
Yeah. I went to be honest with you. The reason why I went with Fidelity and Vanguard for investment purposes. Relax, ladies and gentlemen. This is tech related. Is because I like how integrated Fidelity is with Apple Watch, iPhone, iPad, and Mac. It's the cleanest UI, and so I by far prefer that one over like Robinhood. Even though Robinhood has the clean UI as well, the modularity that comes with Fidelity was just it is phenomenal. So for all things that had to do with like tracking the market or my individual stocks involvement. I like using Fidelity for stuff like that, and Vanguard is for all the long-term stuff. But that's a third-party app that I actually use on the daily. Outside of that, though, I'll be honest with you. I was about to say, I don't know. I guess technically, Starbucks. I guess if I go to the drive-through and I hit pay, I get the little barcode right here, and I just hold it up and I scan it. Outside of that,
can that be in your wallet though?
It is in my wallet. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it kind of counts, but
I say technically very, very loosely. The one that I like using with notifications that ping me would be Fidelity and YouTube. Actually, YouTube will ping me on a hey, so and so is live, or this person responded to your thing. I get
that's not
YouTube.
An app though, right? That's
that's just it being pushed to thing.
Notification. Yeah.
Everything else is turned off.
I think that if you started making third-party watch faces or letting anybody can come up with a watch face as long as it abides by their terms and conditions or what have you, it just can't break any laws or guidelines that Apple sets out. There would be so many cool watch faces devs could come up with and charge for or paywall certain things. Just in the conceptual Reddits and stuff, I've seen people come up with ideas for what they would want a watch face to do, or there's so many bring back the nostalgia watch faces from the iPod Nano 6th gen. If you could download those and bring back what they used to look like, or the old I'm getting ideas right now. The old Vortex game on the iPod?
Yes.
Where it has the little ball and you move it around. Imagine if you put that on a watch face and you moved the thing with the digital crown, and that's how you bounce the ball back and forth.
It's a nice, simple time killer of sorts.
Yeah. And you could activate it so it's like a little complication. Like it's normally just the time and it's circular with the hands. But then there's a little button, and you press the button, it says new game. And boom, you just have a game on top of the watch face going. Or you could have different themes, like a new movie's coming out, the Jurassic World watch face or something. It gives you a countdown till the movie, and it changes depending on the time of day. Or
that's nice.
Or there's different dinosaurs. There's so much potential that you could come up with. Google could make one. You could have a Google Assistant complication built in right there, or however people want to do it. You could have YouTube channels come up with their own watch faces. Here's the Tailosive watch face, and it shows the latest podcast or the latest video, and it notifies you when the new one drops, or a specific design you like, or just like there's merch designs that people come up with. You could come up with a lot more than just like, all we have right now is photo. Put the time over the photo here or here, and that's all you can do.
Yeah.
That's it.
That interactiveness would make it. It gives it personality. It makes it unique.
Yeah, for sure.
I did something very. Like, this is from somebody else. You know how I'm gonna send you a screenshot right now of my homepage of my home screen, and people get creative with the widgets in the backgrounds and stuff like that to help you like customize it. I decided to only do layout, not necessarily custom icons, even though it's the same thing though. If they opened up that the same way they let you customize your iPhone's like UI, that's basically what when you raise to wake and you look at your watch, that's basically the same thing. So here, I'm sending you a screenshot of what I have, and this is me. You're gonna have to click on the photo to expand it, but this is me just kind of playing around with new things because I just wanted to make it feel different.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's my home screen right now.
Yeah, I like the shading. That's a really
I
nice
love
touch.
that that's the first thing you pointed it out, because that was its biggest feature about a third party effectively it's a Siri shortcut.
Yeah. And I love the highlights too, of like the app part is within a bubble, and then the dock is within its own bubble. That looks that is bloody nice. That is really nice.
If you want me to make one, I mean, I will. I can generate that. It's very interactive. But the point that I wanted to draw attention to this though was this was done because of a third party feature that it was able to let you. Where do you want your widgets? What kind of widgets? What about the dock? What about icons? And you could take it a step further and have your custom made icons. But I personally, I like the vibrancy of what's on my home screen personally there. I kept it as is, but I've thought about it just so I can get rid of the little text that's there. But all that to say that you get these type of customizations that you're allowed to have now because of Siri Shortcut and just the way widgets are integrated so far. It makes iOS a little bit more tailored to you, no different than a watch band. I would love the same interaction like that, but let's say on the watch. Why can't we have little cards like that, what they call the home screen card? It looks like a card like that. Why can't you have in your little widget brackets here on your Apple Watch have just little cards of like you just said, Taylosif just posted a new whatever. Here's whatever complication you want for time, date, weather, etc. Here's a countdown for you to even, and here's the background, here's the wallpaper you want.
Right.
And if Disney can have interchanging animations, or not even Disney, but that time lapse one, why can't every time I look at my watch, I get a different interchanging complications that would come up? That I think a third party, would get way more creative with it.
They would, for sure.
Than Apple would. I.e., in my own example, my home screen here, somebody got really creative with it. I was like, that's cool. So
it is.
I'm all there with you to say that third-party watch faces can be such a big opportunity for it could be the next MagSafe accessory thing.
I think it'd be a much bigger market than the App Store, which they've had on the watch forever, and I don't see much use in it. But I think the watch faces, that's the most commonly used thing with our watch. So if you expand on that and open it up, people would probably even be willing to pay money for certain watch faces if it unlocked certain things, and Apple can take a cut of that. These are free ideas, Apple. You can just take them. But I so wish iOS 16. My brief little wish list here is that you could get rid of the text underneath the apps. I would love iOS so much more if they didn't have to label every single one. I know what the Photos app is. You don't have to label it. And let there be software updates over cellular data. There's been unlimited data for years now. Yeah. And they still are like, nope, you got to be on Wi-Fi to download the latest up. I'm like, why does it? It doesn't matter. Like, just download it. You care so much about 5G. It's like, but you can't install the update over it. I don't know why they have that restriction. It's weird. You can hotspot off of the phone and download an update through the hotspot, but not through the device. I don't get it. It's weird.
LTE hotspot.
Yeah.
But not its 5G native network connectivity.
Exactly.
I would like to see...
Update on that. Sorry,
on
go ahead.
iOS 16, I would say, honestly, just in place like widget interaction where I don't have to go into the app. For example, if you look on my Tesla widget there, even on the small one, on the top right, I have lock and unlock. That would be enough for me, right? You can customize what you want the Tesla app to be on. I don't know if it's the small one, but definitely the wider one. What you want your stock, or not your stock, but your default engagements to be, and pre-cooling or preheating the vehicle before you get into it is like my biggest wish list on Tesla, that I just want it to know when I'm going to go in my car, cool it down or heat up the car. I love doing that. Music.
Or just a now playing widget would be huge.
I was like, music is a must. No reason you have to scroll down to control center. No reason.
No, doesn't need to be a thing. That's wasted time. We've wasted collectively years having to swipe down to control center to play, pause, or skip, rewind. If it was just right there on the home screen, so
give
much
us
easier.
A widget that is a new widget for AirPods, and I click on the AirPod I want to pair to when I'm touching the device, and you just know I'm trying to go to my phone and not Mac or iPad. So I click on the widget, and it just does it like, oh, cool, AirPods Pro connected to the iPhone. Same widget on iPad. Great, now it's on the iPad. This idea. What can I take away? My thought process is, what can I take away from the control center? It's cluttered. It's loud. It's fine, but just give me those little toggles right there. And put them on the home screen. Give me a widget right there, right there.
Bake them into the new AirPods app that I've been suggesting.
Yeah.
You know, where you could control optimized battery charging and software updates and accessibility features with the force sensor. Just there's so much you could do with the dedicated app if you didn't have to bake everything into the settings app. AirPods are complicated enough. The Apple Watch has an app and it has its own display and a QWERTY keyboard now. Yet they still want it to have its own app for more controls on the phone. These don't have a display, and yet they're very complex and have all these settings. And I ran into it the other day. I pulled out my AirPods and I was like, why are these at 80%? And I held them up next to the phone and they were like, optimized battery charging is turned on. So it was like, see, I would know that if it was there and I could control it.
It's not intuitive to click on the eye. Go into settings.
It's too many settings.
Eye. That's not intuitive right there. Us as techies, it would take you a second. Oh, that. But somebody who just, hey, can you take a photo of my family at this graduation? They are those guys. Not going to think about, oh yeah, just go to settings and Bluetooth and click on the little eye, because from there you can custom control what you want your force click to be. No, they're not going to do that.
They don't think that way at all. No.
Yeah. Free ideas, Apple. Free ideas.
Free ideas. We'll take payment
and fix iPad OS.
Yeah. Take payment in the form of Apple Store credit. That's all I need. That works for me.
Or put us in another commercial.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I'll
see
take
the
that.
Updated artwork. Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, well, do you have final thoughts or a closing subject? Sometimes we say this and then go on for another 40 minutes.
Right? I'm scared of that. At the risk of keeping it short, my predictions haven't changed for WWDC. I think the hardware. We will get hardware definitively from the email.
Wow. We'll see. One of us will be right, I guess, but not both. We can't both be right.
That's one way.
We know how this normally goes, which means that good news if you're interested in hardware, because Randy's normally right on these things. But
I know a guy who knows a guy who says, Good morning, Cupertino." Wow.
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 What a massive disappointment. Wow. Alrighty. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll catch you next week for last-minute predictions and hype, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.